Hello friends and comrades, it's Lelling and welcome to the most exciting release of the coming year. Foundation is finally leaving early access on January 31st and we're going to have a full release. Now here we're looking at the demo, which is actually quite different from early access. But before we talk about that, let me just quickly tell you about what Foundation even is. If you haven't heard, Foundation is a city builder and it is one of my favorite city builders of the current era. It's really cool. It's a medieval city builder. It's got some really unique mechanics and allows some pretty great creativity. You're gonna see, we're gonna jump into it. But first, let me quickly tell you about this demo and early access business. So you can already buy Foundation, it is in early access, but the early access version is different than the demo. So if you want to see what the full release is gonna look like, I recommend first trying out the demo and then buying the early access if you want to support the devs before the release. I definitely would encourage you to do that. And it's also going to be one of the last times you can see this unique early build. I haven't seen the demo yet, so I don't know what this version is going to look like, but I've loved Foundation for years. So we're going to go see what the demo looks like. Let's click new game. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to make a new map. I see that we have a few fewer options in the demo version. That's fine. If you want to see more of the stuff, there's always the non-demo early access build, but I'm here to see what has changed and what is new. So we can just create a little map. I do like a bit of a lake. Honestly, usually I like a river. I like this little island there. So we could can we just randomize? Oh, this randomizes the seed. I'm gonna go for not so many slopes. And I think promontories are fun because they let you build interesting structures on plateaus. So this is just our little map that we're gonna make. Oh, look at that, we got steps. Select your mods. Foundation does have an amazing mod support. If you haven't seen the game yet in early access, we had so many mods already, and the way that the modding community is supported by the devs is just amazing as well, so it's quite exciting. I'm not usually a mod person because they seem to be so much work to keep them and maintain them and make sure that they work with the builds, but I haven't had any of that trouble with Foundation at all. It is so nice. All right, select your rules. Oh my goodness, we're just gonna go with the classic, everything classic, and we're gonna keep the onboarding quests on so that we all learn together. Now let's jump in. Describe your village. Yes. Okay, so I've been playing this since maybe 2010, 2019. Not 2010, 2020 or 2019. And one of the things that I've always said is I want to be able to design my own crest, my own coat of arms. And we get more titles. We get more than just Lord and Lady as well. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so we're just gonna be... I think we're still gonna go for Lady because that's gonna be alliterative. And we have a village name. We're going to call it... Oh no. What are we gonna call our village? Oh Lord. Well, I feel like we have no choice. We should just call it Demoville and be done with it so that you don't have to watch me for 15 minutes coming up with a name. Now, let's design a little thingy. Oh, okay, this is another thing that is a risk of 15 minutes of me designing it. So give me a moment and then we shall see what I come up with. Okay, I understand it's not the most creative choice to have green on green, but I like it. Also, I think I have a better name for our town. It's gonna be the Bee's Knees, of course. I wonder if they'll let us have an apostrophe. Surely. All right, let's begin. Start the game. Okay, so I'm very excited for this demo. Like I said, I haven't seen anything. The most I've seen is Tavern Crawler for 10 seconds. Tavern Crawler is a streamer. He's a really cool guy. And I went to say hello to him and he was playing the demo and I was just like, I'm not looking. I'm just gonna quietly. I'm just going to say hi and then duck out because I don't want to see too much. Look at how nice it is, everyone. Look at those trees. Look at those trees. Okay. After a long journey throughout the realm, your people finally reached new lands. Your lands. Territories you can settle for reasons of your own. Your villagers await your command and are eager to offer advice about how to proceed, should you require it. Let me hear your advice. Ooh, the quest module. We get little video tutorials. That's nice. So this is all very similar to early access. The UI is similar. The environment is completely different looking. It's so gorgeous. It's so nice. A+ environment stuff. Your objectives are displayed on the quest module. The quest module will display your current objectives and quests throughout the game. All right. Spin the camera, pan the camera. There we go. God, look how beautiful it is. Y'all, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for how pretty it is. Alright, we're learning how to zoom the camera. You can use your mouse wheel, you can use WASD, middle click. You can do all of this stuff with middle click. Your first territory. To start building your village, you must choose your first territory. Each available starting territory has all the basic resources you need to begin settling the new land. Later, you will be able to expand further by purchasing new territories. Excellent. Alright, so it only gives us some of the territories as a first option because those territories have to have food. And with the fact that the river and the coast were unavailable for the demo, I wonder if fishing is disabled. So I don't know how much this water is going to be of use as a starting zone. This is a really small starting zone. Let's take a little look-see around. And this is the multi-level marketing. This seems like a nice little snack, and then maybe we can get this area here afterwards. Where's the food? Is this the food? There's some food here. This seems risky. It's also all over the place, but I feel like, you know what? Oops, sorry, I just spun the camera so fast. I feel like it's going to give everybody a nice idea of what we're actually dealing with here. If we just go in here and try out this region, because we have some water, we have some elevation. I think this is a good start. Let us begin. Ooh. Action module. Most actions like placing new buildings or expanding your territory can be performed by the action module at the bottom center of the screen. Excellent. We must place our village center. So the village center in the past was just a little box. Pretty much the same now. I think we want to be... Do we want our village center more here by the coast? Do we want it sort of here? I feel like we should go here, but then there's all these flowers and stuff that I don't want to ruin. Look at these cute little berry bushes. There's so many of them. Alright, I'm gonna make the center here. No, you know what? I want the center a little bit away from the berry bushes, so that we could have a circular market around it. I don't know if that's still a relevant choice. You know, maybe this is a bad decision. But I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna go over here. So one of the cool things about this game is the amount of customization it allows you. You can see all of these tools here. They're gonna be very useful later. Some of them I'm not familiar with, but they look very exciting because they look like things we've been requesting. A villager wants to speak with you. Click on the bouble to start the interaction. Organizing work. The second piece of advice comes from a young, enterprising villager. Rather than letting everyone fend for themselves, she suggests that you organize laborers into appropriate workplaces, builders into workshops, woodcutters into lumber camps, bear gatherers into their huts, and so on. Box unto box. So we should make a builder's workshop. This one used to place automatically. How do I spin it? Have they changed how I spin it? Left click to place it, left click drag to rescale apart vertically. Oh, wait, on vertical arrows. Right click to delete. Alt to rotate. Shift and left click to place a building and keep the selection. All right. Look at that. That's so nice. So one of the things that's really cool about this game is that you can clip buildings into each other. So you can see that this has a little entry place, and you can see some arrows that are indicating, like this white arrow indicates where they need to have access to it. But if you want, you could put two builders' huts back to back, like one like that and another one like that. And as long as they have access to it, they'll be able to walk in. They don't need to have access to the full building. The buildings can intersect, or at least they used to be able to. Maybe I'm talking out of my mouth. Let's just get into it and see if it still works that way, because that was a nice thing. Let's place it here. It's sort of the beginning of our village, right? And we can presumably just assign a builder. There we go. Click the plus button on the building panel to automatically assign the nearest villager to a workplace. So we could just do that, or we can choose one. And another cool thing about this game is that you can rename everything. So if you're a streamer or you have some kind of community with you or whatever, or if you just like to name people after, you know, people you know, you can totally do that. We'll call her Spevia. All right, let's assign Spevia over here. Wait, did that not work? Did I click the wrong boot knot? Oh yeah, you have to click that button. There we go. New building available. Oh, this is such a nice little overlay. And look at the little blur. Very fancy. Lumber camp. So lumber camp is going to have a little bit of negative vibes. And people don't like to live near negative vibes. So that's another thing you have to sort of look out for later in the game. Now, for now, I think I'm just going to place this lumber camp over here just so that it's a little bit off to the side. But I do see some berries there as well. You can always remove buildings later and, you know, not have trouble with it. Let's have more builders. Oh yeah, also happy holidays everyone if you celebrate. That like I just got reminded of that because I just heard someone sneeze downstairs because they're setting up the Christmas tree. All right, let's get a woodcutter. And we have assigned a woodcutter. Now they're going to teach us about wood requires you to paint an area that is fit for woodcutting using the paint tool. So this paint, look at that. What is that? What is that? It's an interesting little UI element. That's exciting. All right, so the paint tool. Oh, we just have woodcutting as a separate tool, and we can have a square brush. Oh, you know, I'm a little bit saddened by the square brush because I know a lot of people have just been wanting to paint just square territories. One thing that I liked about this game is that you can have little oblong shapes and stuff. And then people are like doing, you know what they do? They do stuff like this. Well, they'll do this and then they'll just sort of slice it off to make a square. I'm like, but you know, what if I want it to be nice and organic? But I guess it's fit for everyone. If you want a square town that's very ordered, or if you want a town with little rounded shapes and stuff, we both get what we want. Right, so we have a forester camp. So that's really cool because it allows us to repopulate any trees that we have cut down. So you can't get stuck early on, even if you don't get any more territories. Look at all these berries. There's a lot of berry bushes. I assume they've changed how much a single berry bush carries. I think before it was like 5 berry bushes in a cluster together. So I'm going to assume that this is essentially the same thing. Or like maybe 3 berry bushes in a cluster? I don't know. I think it was 5. So now I'm going to assume that this is just each bush is a single bush. Because before you would have like a bush, but it would have 5 little berry icons on top. So this is just my assumption. All right, let's get this built. You can see the builders carrying the resources and Spevia's on the job. Oh, Spevia's going on break. And now Anus is finishing it. That's an interesting name. All right, there we go. We have some berry gatherers. And of course, wait, how do I close this? Like that. if we want to pick some berries, we presumably want to paint a berry. We don't have to paint a berry picking thing? Well, that's fun. You used to have to paint a berry picking thing. Like this blue zone that's now called wood cutting in the early access version. That's actually just everything. So you'd paint your berry bushes with it. You would paint your rocks with it. Is that iron? That looks like iron. Look, that looks like a regular stone. That looks like iron. Interesting. That looks new. All right, what's this? Needs and happiness. Now that you've organized your laborers, you can tend to their needs and happiness. Make sure they have access to fresh water and housing. As for food, you will first need people to store and distribute the berries they collected. From there, your village will have everything needed to welcome its first wave of immigrants. All right, let's put this advice into practice. Housing is built automatically by your villagers within residential areas you've painted beforehand. To mark a residential area, click the paintbrush icon on the action module and select the residential paintbrush and paint the desired land. This is really cool. So instead of placing people's houses in this game, we just paint where we want them to live. Now, this is a little bit far. I do eventually want to live on this coast, but maybe we can get away with a house over here. I don't want to live in the berry bush. Oh, there we go. Every member of your village is looking to satisfy essential and additional needs. Villagers fulfill their needs by consuming resources such as berries for the rustic food need, or visiting buildings such as churches for the service need. Check for details by hovering over each need in the villager window. We'll do that in a second. I'll just give them a little bit of paint over here. And we can also have a house over here. There we go. Look, they're already building houses. And then I will still just paint all of this. Oh, they're ready. They're ready to live there. How many houses are they gonna build? That's a higher than usual number of houses. They made a little garden thing. Look at it. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh my goodness. I'm in love. Oop, they killed some trees. All right, build a well. Right, people do need water in their life. So if we're keeping this as the village center, I'll just plop a well right next to it. I think that'll work. And then they want us to build a stonecutter camp. Oh, we can already see that they're building a house over there. They're building houses over there. So stonecutter camp is also stinky. You can see this like faint reddish grayish circle around it. That means people generally don't want to live next to it. And stinky buildings actually compound. You can see that it affects the circle of the woodcutter if this is nearby. So you can make a little isolated industrial zone, but it will leak much more compared to just like an individual industrial building, right? And then you can always surround it with like service buildings and other things and sort of compensate for the fact that it's stinky and nobody's going to want to live there. But I think this is fine. We shall see how it works out. So we have a couple things to build. Look at how nice it looks. I'm so sorry. So you can see here that houses have different types of things. So they both have density and quality. So houses can grow bigger and they can also change class in terms of like what kind of class of people can live in there. And then we can also check these people. So this is the need stuff that they were talking about. They're going to need water, they're going to need a basic food, and they're going to need some housing. And then if we have some refined food, that'll be very nice. And service, they want to go to church. We are in the medieval era, so everybody wants to go to church. Let's see what it says about these essential and additional needs. Essential needs affect the villager's happiness, which you should always aim to fulfill. When these needs go unmet, happiness drops, which may compel this villager to leave. Like essential needs, additional needs affect the villager's happiness. These can be fulfilled at your own pace as they only become necessary when promoting a villager to a new status or if you want to raise your villagers' happiness. After being filled once, happiness penalties apply when left in decline, which might compel villagers to leave. Okay, so this is essentially like the basic stuff that we have to fill, otherwise people won't even stay. And then if we want to level them up, we want to make sure that we get the additional needs covered as well. That's really fun. That's really interesting. Okay, so they're working on all these camps. Maybe we should add some woodcutters. Where's our... Ah, there we go. So there's a little overview that we have up there. Ooh. What? Oh, look, it's a little aerial map of the village. That's really cute. I didn't know that we were going to get that. So there's a couple things here. We're going to look at those in a second. First, I want to actually just check. So this lists our unemployed villagers, which is a really nice way to find them. But also, what were those icons? Missing raw materials. Are we out of trees? Expand the wood cutting, please. We're just deforesting this entire county. And then what's your deal? Produces berries, storage full, nowhere to put them. But we need to prioritize this well. Well, I suppose we need the woodcutter, or the stonecutter, and then the well. Let's get some stuff done, and then we will resume to it. So the stonecutter is done, but we want to assign maybe more than one person just to have it a little bit faster. And now, given that our berries are full, we can dismiss one person from the berries. And our logs aren't full, so we're just going to do that. So we currently have 10 people, and we kind of have to juggle them around. But later, more people will join. You have immigration as people will, want to move in. Now let's take a look at the ledger if we have access to it. There we go. It says budget. Trade routes. That's the only options we have so far. Oh, unavailable in the demo. Oh, we can't do the other trade routes in the demo? That's interesting. There is also a lot of them. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, so... Interesting that there's not options here for the ledger to wiggle around it, but I think that's just like a demo thing, or perhaps it just hasn't been unlocked yet. Now, where is this well? Ah, you can see the builders are gonna, as soon as a stone is put into the thing, then a builder will pick it up from the stone cutter. There we go. You can even track resources and it will highlight them. So we'll see there's a stone over there, and now a builder is going to pick up that stone and is going to bring it to the well. And the well needs one more stone. Incoming stone. And Spevia on the job again. Spevia MVP. She will single-handedly build this village. Oh, never mind. She went to take a break. Domar took over. There we go. Our well is done. Multi-part building. We're going to build a market. Some buildings, such as the market, have multiple parts and can be customized that way. Each part has a cost and can have a specific effect. Check for details on the part description. So we go over here, and here you can see where things really wild out. People have made mods with, like, I don't even think I'm exaggerating when I say hundreds of parts to decorate stuff with. But let's take a look. Food stall and a rustic market tent. Increases the building part capacity. Okay, but it costs money. All right. So let us make our market. I want the market to be here. Now, what is the access point? I think this is going to be the access point. So we have the well here, and I kind of want to surround the well in a little semicircle. Of course, if we build too close to the house, that will demolish it. So I'm gonna maybe just go over here for now. I'm trying to think of the future. So of course right now it would really fit over here and just look really nice and small. But if we're thinking about the future, what if we want something like this? You know, sort of a little semicircle of market stalls to sell different things to people. I think that'll be really nice. So let's just keep this idea, and we are going to just keep. So I'm just going to delete these. Cannot right click them to delete them anymore. That's sad. We're just going to keep one of these, and it's going to be this one. Can we put a little stall thingy on it? Let's see how that works out for us. It's gonna need 5 cloth. We have 20 cloth. All right. And let's wait for them to build this market. Oh. We're joined here by my construction supervisor. Little baby. Are you supervising the construction? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put you down now. He's feeling extra cuddly. I don't know what the matter is. He might want something. He might want food, probably, right? That's how that works. Alright, so the stall has been built. Let's, we probably want more builders. Let's slow down time a little bit, given that it is, just early doors. Our woodcutters seem fine, so let's perhaps reduce the woodcutter amount. Oh, I just right-clicked it and it did not do the thing I wanted it to do. So we're going to have Mr. Tello finish up work. You can see here that he's just doing something, so he's just going to bring this in. And then he's going to quit. And then we're going to say, Mr. Tello, we have a new job opportunity for you, which is to be a market tender. He immediately changed, and we're going to tell him to sell berries. Now let's take a look at Mr. Tello and his berry skills. Y'all, this game looks so nice. Ooh, a help thingy. Nice. Ah, there we go. I was looking for the UI thingy. Ooh. Why did that appear again? Not the borders appearing. Look at how nice this is. If you want to hide the UI to make screenshots, the key is Control U. Raise the happiness of your village to 75. Okay, well maybe just feeding them all is going to do that. Did we assign everything? Oh, edit building. You can edit any constructed buildings by pressing the edit building button. You can move and rotate any building parts after they've been built. Some building parts can be scaled up and down. Multi-part buildings can be improved further with new parts. Monuments can be improved with additional parts and sub-buildings. Double-clicking a building part will let you select all connected parts simultaneously. Okay, that's very interesting. So, hold on a second. If I want to edit a building... we cannot edit a house. By the way, you can rename everything in the game, right? So you can just call this the fancy house. Or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, let me see. Edit building. You could just move it around. Oh, it does require... They're essentially going to collapse it and rebuild it. Okay. But that's really cool. We don't have to demolish and move things anymore like that. They'll do some of the work for us. That's pretty cool. And then of course the market, because it's a they used to call them monuments. We can just add more market stalls to it, to the same thing. Now here's a question. Can I decorate this tent? No. The tent is just a tent. All right. Right. Let's see how their happiness progresses as everyone starts to get access to food. Ooh, We have some kind of event pop up. Profiting for trade. A business-minded villager proposes creating a trade route with your closest neighbor, Northbury, to sell resources for profit and obtain items that cannot be produced locally. Northbury needs planks, so you should start with those. Unlocking buildings. Some buildings are not available at the start of the game. You will need to unlock them from the progression screen. Unlocking them requires you to reach their tier, which might require a certain number of prosperity and estate splendor. Once there, you must pay a certain amount of coins or influence to unlock them for your village. Alright, so this is actually really, it seems maybe a little bit complicated, but it's actually quite fun and simple. Let me see if I can show. Oh, we don't have any splendor of any sort right now, so it's just prosperity. But you essentially just unlock stuff as your village gains prosperity. You gain prosperity from your village being cooler. So like a high population, active commerce, making it beautiful, all of those things will work towards your splendor, your prosperity. And then splendor is a whole other thing, which we're maybe going to touch in the next one, in the next video. But we can build a sawmill. We can make planks out of wood. Now, here's the question. Where do I want to do that? Probably not over there, closer to the houses. Might want to just put it back here. Maybe. It's so, when it's early doors, why is my phone vibrating? When it's this early, it's always hard to tell where I'm gonna want my houses. So it's kind of like, ooh, tough decisions, because that, you know, nobody wants to live next to a stinky area. But there's a little berry bush over there, and it looks like the same berry gatherer can actually reach all of that. So that's fine. So I think we're gonna make this a little bit more of a stinky area. And maybe like this. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like this. Hopefully that does not touch the berry bushes. And then while we're doing that, does the forester have a negative impact as well? It did not used to have that. No, the forester does not have a negative impact, which means we can put the forester here. And we can just build these two and work on that. So our happiness has already reached 75. Now people want refined food, which is outside of scope for today. But let's take a look at the progression tab. We can acquire storage, fishing, and village fence, which is a little decorative fence. We have enough gold to acquire presumably both of those. And there are fish here. So that's nice. Honestly, let's go for storage, which gives us access to two different storage buildings, the granary and the warehouse. Now, I would like some immigration, thank you very much. But until we have that, let's just keep following the onboarding. So the warehouse also doesn't have a negative impact, which is real nice. Oh, speak of the devil. Immigration. These people want to join our village. We just pop them and they join. I wonder why there's not a learning pop-up about that. That seems a pretty important feature to learn. Now, where do we want our storage? I kind of feel like storage could be... I'd put it here on the side, but we don't have that territory. So maybe, for now, storage is gonna go over here. Although that, you know, we do have stone back there, but it is what it is. Sometimes I like to put the storage building to sort of coincide with the market, so that it almost looks like there's a storage and then the market is coming out of the storage building. Because again, you can like clip buildings into each other. They can overlap. And so you can actually make the market tent look like it's coming out of another building. Like if we were to build a granary, we could just rotate it and then figure out a good position where like maybe like that, or like that. And you could just be like, that's part of the granary. That market is part of the granary. In fact, we could try this one. I don't know. There's a little bit of it's getting a little crowded here, but I guess that's a good way to test the collision problems. You know, maybe we'll get a collision problem. The game does tell you if somebody suddenly can't reach their stuff. But this is a nice way of testing it, and also we can test some of the clipping and just see if we can maybe make this look like the market stall as part of the granary. It does also mean this person does need to have access from the side, but hopefully they don't need access from both sides because there's going to be this thing over here. So maybe they'll just need to walk around. We'll test. If it doesn't work, we can move it. So we have our forester camp. Now stone is no longer the super, well, stone is quite low. I would say we're still pretty good with berries, but I don't want to go down to a single berry picker because then, you know, what if the food doesn't, oh no, we did get new villagers. So we have 2 unemployed people. So we'll just say that we want Domingo. And then we can paint a reforestation area for this forester camp. And we'll say that this forester camp is going to make it woods all the way over here. Did those berry bushes vanish? Are berries non-renewable? They better not be. Maybe they just got destroyed. That's still concerning. I don't like that. Per building zoning, some buildings require a designated zone to operate, which you can organize via the building window. Got it. So that was what we just did. We just painted a little bit of a forestation area. And actually you can do this even if you don't want industrial forests for like chopping down to make trees out of, to make lumber out of. You can just make trees for decorative purposes, which I love. I love that that's like an option. All right, so we have the sawmill. Let's assign a carpenter. And we're going to get to the end of the video soon. I'm just seeing what the time is, but I want to show you a little bit of that as well. Let's just go, and that's the slow down button. Let's click the speed up button and see what that looks like when it's finished. We got 2 new people joining. And now we're just waiting for the raw materials, which I believe are going to be the planks. So let's assign more carpenters. We also don't have any more wood. So let's make sure that we've painted all of the wood in our land. There's a little bit more trees here. And don't worry about chopping down all your trees. I know that it, like, aesthetically, it feels kind of bad. It just feels bad to chop down every single tree in the world. But you gotta remember, we can always replant these, so this is fine. So what's gonna be happening now is we're gonna have our woodcutters, or lumber camp. They gather wood, they produce wood, and then that wood is gonna be taken to the sawmill where the wood is made into planks, and then those planks are made to build this warehouse. I'm also thinking we might want to... Oh, no, our residential area is pretty extended. Now, I don't like that they're building a residential building back here when they could be building it a little bit closer. These people seem like they want to be left alone, but we shall see. Anyway, back to awaiting on the warehouse. Okay, while we were waiting, I know that the trees have grown. Look what I found. Look what I found while we were waiting. There's a button in the top left, and it has daytime, dusk, night, rainy. And I was like, what is that gonna do? Look at that. Look at that. Presumably... Look at that. It's so nice. It's so nice. Presumably we're going to be able to change these around in this mode, but in the end game, like when the game releases, I'm assuming that we don't have control over the weather, but maybe, you know, you can alter the rules to make it so. That is so cool. That's... Oh, look at the light. Look at this campfire. Imagine later on when your town is full of different buildings that have lights in them. How nice that can look. Oh, I haven't even thought of that. And look at this lovely rainy tone. That's so nice. That's so nice. That's amazing. Anyway, so all our trees have grown. You can see how quickly they actually grow. And that's going to make it a little bit easier for the woodcutters to produce enough wood, which makes it even easier for the plank boys to produce the planks. It's actually all 3 plank gals. The plank gals. Hold on. This will now be called the plank gallery. Get it? Because plank gals. Alright, so now they're going to build this warehouse. At the warehouse, which is really cool, you can assign a transporter, of course. And not only can you gather resources, so we can say, I want wood, I want planks, I want stone, and I want tools. Ooh, we have access to the royal book. Finally. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna maybe look at the royal book next time. We could just do a little quick look at it just now. You now have access to the royal book. The royal book contains useful information, missing a space there, and various features like the capability to establish trade routes with your neighbors. Nice. We definitely have to do that. But yes, so we now have our transporter who can deliver the stuff in here, but you can also use the warehouse to transport stuff long distances by having some warehouse over there, and we say stock maximum planks. And this warehouse would start walking over here and take the planks out of this warehouse in order to make sure that that one is stocked up to the maximum. So you can do some really, really cool logistics around your village and eventually your sprawling town. And so your warehouses and granaries are really going to be carrying... Oh, there's our granary. It's finished. Let's see if everyone has access. I've not seen any errors pop up about not having access to it. So I think we can just safely assume that it works. Now our granary can store some berries for like in case there's a bad weather or something, because the berry gatherers only have a capacity up to 50, and this will have a capacity to 100 per slot. So we could technically store 400 berries. And then if you have a bad harvest or something, you know, this is later for when you have like your wheat and bread and all of that. It's nice to have a supply, which is pretty cool. And it's available for trading. So we can look at trade routes and all of that next time. Today we just learned about surviving, and next time we're going to learn about thriving. But look at this lovely book. Oh, I aspire to relax and play on my own. Oh, that's really cool, because we did have some kind of aspirations actually in our early access game. And that's pretty cool because I feel like we're going to have maybe like a story of like, I aspire to do this thing. And then it could be like on year 3, I completed my aspiration. I then turned my eye to, and then another aspiration. That would be such a cool way of like having a little bit of your town's history and just like switching pages. That would be really, really cool. I would like that. Oh no, edicts and privileges are unavailable in the demo? Sad. Sad. Oh, but this is so nice. This is so nice. I'm definitely gonna keep playing this. So if you would like to learn about trade routes and stuff like that, we're gonna do that in the next one. And I will see how much there is to do in the demo. I will definitely be playing this on January 31st when it releases. Expect me to just be playing it and just no-lifing it because I love this game. I will link it in the Steam. I will link the Steam. Let's just try that again. I will link the Steam link. Nope. I will link to this game on Steam in the description. I'm going to keep all of that in. So if you would like to check out this game, I am highly recommending it. I'm not being paid to say this. This is just a really nice game, and I love it. and honestly support it. It's also self-published. It's an indie title through and through. Self-published, self-developed. These people work really hard to make this game happen, and it's just amazing to see it come so far. So check out the description and check out the game. Add it on your wish list. Try out the demo. This is a free demo, so you can just try it out. All right, everybody, we are going to wrap up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to do all of the things that you do when you've enjoyed a video. Make sure to comment, let me know what you think, and also if you want me to look at any other games. And if you would like to support me or say hi, you can come say hi at twitch.tv/lulling, where I stream, and I will also be streaming this game all the time, presumably, once it releases. And I stream loads of other games too. I sort of have like a mishmash there. We also just hang out a lot and chat. It's not just like pure gameplay like on this channel. And speaking of which, you can check out this channel. I have loads of playthroughs if you'd like to see some of the early access of this game. I have several different towns that we've built with some big cathedrals and historically inspired castles and stuff. And then I have loads of other playthroughs of other city builders, colony management games, and all sorts of stuff. And you can also check out some demos and first looks and other stuff that I've looked at. There's so many things to see. All right, everybody, have a lovely rest of your life. Stay solidary. Goodbye.